going on, everybody? It's Matt from 9 Day Performance. Behind me, I have this beautiful Dodge Charger that's in Plum Crazy that's came in for the typical HEMI reason, lifter tick. It's got a lifter failure on set that's coming very early. He caught it early. It doesn't do it all the time. Taps every once in a while. So he's actually getting us to install a complete cam kit in this vehicle. We're going to get it tore down. We're going to show you what we find along the way. Stay tuned for the rest of the video. What's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another installment of another build that we're doing. Behind me, you see there is a beautiful Dodge Charger in purple. Very, very bright and vibrant color. And we're going to make it loud now, make it sound different, make it sound better, add some power to it. You know the deal. So what we're doing behind us is we're getting everything torn apart. You see Austin in the background. He's getting everything torn apart, which I don't know why he's taking the headlights off in this video. You'll see that in a second. I don't know why he took the headlights off, but he took the headlights off. Later on, we'll put them back. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get this cam kit installed. This vehicle had a slight lifter tick, which is typical with our Gen 3 Hemis. However, this one randomly started getting to the customer, and he thought that there was a problem, so he wanted to make sure it got fixed. So we're going to get everything torn down. We're going to get everything cleaned up, do our full inspection of the vehicle. We're going to get a new cam kit installed. We're going to get it tuned. We're going to throw it on the dyno. Unlike our traditional videos, the tuning in this one is not being done in-house by FRP. It's not being done by FRP at all currently. So right now we're letting this be a learning project. The customer has agreed. We're going to let it go over to the school. We're going to see how it does over there at the school. And they're going to do some experimenting with the HEMI platform. They're primarily LS, but they're going to test some things out and see how they do on the HEMI platform, because they do tune HEMIs as well. We're going to see how they do, and depending on the outcome, depends on if we'll leave the tune as such or we'll change it later on with another tune from Ryan. So stay tuned to the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll let you guys get to it. Grab you some popcorn, sit back and relax. Let's get back into the build. I'll let you listen to some music in the background so it's not silent. Alrighty, so up until this point, you see my guys have gone ahead and got everything torn apart as far as the front end, the front bumper, the head's taken off, the front timing cover taken off. So now it's at the point where we're ready to start replacing with the new parts. The heads, we already took them and had them jet washed, so they're clean. We're going to do the springs a little later. And then I'm going to go ahead and... What's up?
Your food's here.
Okay, thanks. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to take these MDS caps out real quick. So... on the Gen 3 Hemis, on the VVT motors, on a lot of them, you'll see these MDS plugs right there. A lot of people freak out and they try to go and pry these out and they break them off, and they're very hard to get off once you break them off. So the easiest way to do this is going to be here. Disconnect all of them, of course. The little slide pin locks that lock it in place. And we're doing a delete on these, so these will not go back in. Alright. We're going to pull the harness up off of there. Get fly tool real quick. So pop your harness up off of here. Like that. So that you can get to the 10s that are underneath it holding those MDS plugs. Alright. So you take them off. Take the 10 millimeter, loosen all, take all the bolts out of all of them. And this will work on the newer cars, the older cars, any of them that have these. Go grab you a hammer. Once you tap them, twist a little bit, wiggle with by your hands, and just like that, they come out. Sometimes they will still break when you tap them, but for the most part, 90% of the time, they won't. What you're doing is you're breaking the seal when you tap them. If they don't act like they want to work, smack them again. Go, another one's out. Usually you don't have to pry on them. Sometimes it's easier, just don't pry hard. I'm just doing this for leverage, so basically pulling with the same amount that I would with my hand, just like that. Just give you a little more leverage. Sometimes they break off. When they break off, it's not the worst thing in the world, like that one just did. All you have to do is take a screw it inside of this and pop it out. But this will save you time when it works properly, not having to do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these MDS plugs out. Take the motor mounts loose, lift the motor up because I gotta drop the oil pan, so I can put a new gasket on, put a new oil pump on, and we'll get ready to get this cam installed. What do you have?
It's a camshaft.
It's a damn camshaft there. You know, the behind camshaft. Anyways, we have a camshaft here. It is a Texas Speed grind. This one's a 797 cam. We typically install FRP here, but we don't discriminate. We will install those. Customer purchased it himself. It's the TSP Maximizer cam, or the 797 Maximizer. In the package, as you can see, just like every Texas Speed cam, same as the ones we get from FRP as far as packaging quality. Let's see. Oh, there it is. HEMI lock kit. So there's our phaser limiter. We'll get that installed. We're gonna go ahead and get the camshaft put in the motor. We're gonna have Austin do this one. This guy.
You know what you're doing?
Yes.
I like the confidence.
Yes.
He's done it at least once, I promise. Well, let's get the cam in. Alright, so I made a small mistake. I didn't pay attention, and the customer did, include in the box new tensioner and a new guide, as well as a new timing chain, timing chain. So I went ahead and got that swapped out, as you can see there. So all brand new parts. Now we're gonna go ahead and get this Hellcat oil pump installed. That's what we always do on all of our HEMI builds when we do any of the cam kits or any rebuilds. We put the Hellcat oil pumps because they're a higher volume than the factory. High pressure is not needed, high volume helps with the oiling system problems that the HEMIs have. So now we're gonna go ahead and get this oil pump installed so we can finish this install. Everybody, it's Matt from 9 Day Performance. We're in the middle of this build on this Dodge Charger, and I wanted to touch on lifter installations. When you're installing your lifters in your Gen 3 HEMIs, one thing people make a mistake of is not bleeding down the lifters and trying to soak them. Chevys like it, Dodges do not. Do not soak your lifters. Back in the day, people used to do it all the time, but what happens is now, a lot of times if you have that oil that you've soaked inside that lifter, whenever it's trying to travel back up the push rod on its first start, sometimes it doesn't get all the way out of the lifter, allowing the lifter to properly collapse. And what that can cause is you to hang a valve and you smack the valve. So what you want to do is, general practice, you want to get an Allen key on your Gen 3 Hemis. Now if you get Johnson lifters, they're slightly different. This is for your OE, Hellcat, or the non-MDS OEM lifters when you're installing them doing your cam kits. So take your Allen key, go in the center portion of the lifter, right in the little hole, and you're going to want to pump it until there's no more oil coming out of it. You'll hear it squirting, squeaking. You want to do that, let it feed itself. Once you get everything installed in the car, you can dry cycle it as far as put oil in it and don't fire it, but cycle it over and let the oil pump start priming, and it'll start priming these objects for you the proper way, the way they're supposed to be naturally. You don't need to soak your lifters. If you're still soaking your lifters, stop doing it, okay? If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments. Some people are going to say, hey, I soak my lifters, this, and this. That's fine. You keep doing you, and you have a problem, it's your fault. I'm going to keep doing it this way. This is the right way. We've done research on it. MX has done research on it. A lot of other companies have done research on it. It's best to just bleed them down on these OEM, non-MDS lifters when you're doing your cam jobs or just lifter swaps in general.
right, everybody, so the build is done. You heard the car, you saw the dyno run, and the car did great. The car felt great, the car runs good, it sounds good. We did run into a little bit of an issue on the dyno. There was an issue with the throttle, which therefore led to the numbers that were given on the dyno were a little lower than what they should have been. So we're not going to post up those numbers yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it out on the street. The tuner has already taken it out there, and he's dialed it in and figured out exactly what the issue was. They was having a little bit of a throttle issue with the voltage. Something in the tune they had to modify. I myself am not a tuner, but they got that resolved. So the vehicle is running and driving very well. However, I reached out to FRP, told them what was going on, and we sent them over the log. As always, all of our tunes, we like to send them over to him. He got back to us and said that there are some improvements that he feels like he could make on it. The customer is already fully aware of what we were doing, and he's going to come back, and we're going to have FRP do the tune on it now. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. Later on, you're going to see this purple car come back. We'll throw it on the dyno. We're going to modify a few parameters, and we're just going to see how much extra Ryan can give this vehicle over what it had before. We're going to see the big differences between tuners, between per se somebody who tunes vehicles in general, and then somebody who tunes HEMI specifically. Ryan is a HEMI only tuner. Well, I say Mopar only tuner. He doesn't tune LS's, he doesn't tune Fords, he doesn't tune imports. So we're going to see what happens when he puts his special touch. And that's part of the reason why we deal with FRP exclusively for our tuning. We did not expect the tune to be perfect. I will put that out there. I am not talking bad about the person who did the initial tune. That's why I'm not broadcasting who it was. This was a project for the school, so they tuned it very safely. That's why the numbers didn't come back the way they did, on top of the fact of the little bit of a throttle issue that they had. But they were not going for max effort, max power. They didn't want to push the limits, and they wanted to keep it safe. So we have FRP for that. He's going to come back later on when the customer comes back, and we're going to get that dialed in. Until next time, guys, I'll catch you on the next video. Make sure you hit that like button at the bottom. Stay blessed, stay safe, stay modding. I'm out.